The long-delayed import-substituted SJ-100 regional jet has achieved one of the most significant milestones in Russia's civil aviation revival effort. According to Russian Industry and Trade Minister Anton Alikhanov, the aircraft is now completely prepared for serial deliveries to airlines, with the first production aircraft already completing factory testing. Nevertheless, the jet still cannot enter commercial service until formal certification is granted, making regulatory approval the final and most critical obstacle before operations can begin. Russia's aviation sector has spent the past several years trying to replace Western-made components in its commercial aircraft after sanctions disrupted access to foreign suppliers. The SJ-100 program sits right at the center of this effort because the original Sukhoi Superjet 100 relied heavily on imported systems, especially the Franco-Russian SAM-146 engines and Western avionics. The SJ-100 was designed to replace most of those foreign systems with domestically produced alternatives, including the new Russian-built PD-8 engine. And honestly, this has taken far longer than many people in Russia initially expected. As the focus now shifts from development to approval, the big question is no longer whether the aircraft can be built. The real question is whether certification can finally be completed without another major delay. Alikhanov stated that the serial production line is already operational and capable of delivering aircraft to customers immediately after receiving type certification. According to the current timeline, certification is expected around August 2026. If the remaining testing and paperwork move forward without major problems, Russian officials believe the first commercial flights could begin before the end of the year. That distinction matters because the SJ-100 is no longer being described as a struggling prototype program. Russian authorities are now portraying it as an aircraft that is effectively production-ready but waiting for formal approval from regulators. This marks a major change in messaging compared to previous years, when repeated delays involving the PD-8 engine and import substitution problems created uncertainty around the entire project. According to the Ministry of Industry and Trade, 26 out of the 42 contracted SJ-100 aircraft are already in various stages of production. That suggests Russia is attempting to build up inventory before certification is completed, so deliveries can begin quickly once approval arrives. Russian officials also said manufacturers may only need 1 to 2 months after receiving all regulatory documentation before handing aircraft over to airlines. Potential launch operators include Red Wings Airlines, Azimuth Airlines, and Rossiya Airlines. At Altitude Addicts, one thing that stands out is how much emphasis Russian officials are placing on delivery readiness instead of future promises. The discussion naturally moves toward the PD-8 engine because, in many ways, the success of the SJ-100 depends on it more than any other single component. The PD-8 turbofan engine replaces the Franco-Russian SAM-146 engine used on earlier Superjet aircraft. The engine issue became one of the program's biggest obstacles because sanctions made long-term support for Western-linked systems increasingly difficult. Russian aerospace companies spent years developing the PD-8 as a domestic alternative capable of supporting the SJ-100 independently from foreign suppliers. The engine completed its first flight tests aboard the SJ-100 in 2025, and Russian officials say the results largely met expectations. Reports indicate that the aircraft currently involved in certification trials are operating without major complications. According to Alikhanov, 4 aircraft are now participating in certification testing. Russian officials have repeatedly stressed that the campaign is progressing without major remarks or objections from regulators. Still, the PD-8 remains one of the most heavily watched parts of the entire program. Earlier reports suggested the engine required additional testing because of performance concerns, especially involving thrust characteristics. Those issues contributed to several earlier certification delays. Some people probably forgot just how uncertain this program looked not very long ago. Despite those earlier concerns, Russia now appears increasingly confident that the engine is approaching operational maturity. Russian media reports claim the cumulative testing time for the PD-8 has already surpassed several thousand hours. That growing test record is helping authorities push toward final certification approval. Beyond the aircraft itself, the SJ-100 has evolved into something larger for Russia's aviation industry. It is now being treated as a symbol of technological independence in civil aviation. After the Ukraine conflict triggered sweeping Western sanctions, Russia faced serious challenges maintaining and expanding its domestic aviation sector. The original Superjet program depended heavily on imported systems from Europe and other foreign suppliers. Because of that, the SJ-100 was redesigned as a heavily localized aircraft featuring Russian-made avionics, flight control systems, auxiliary systems, interiors, and engines. Russian authorities believe the aircraft could help reduce dependence on Boeing and Airbus aircraft for domestic operations. As sanctions complicated access to foreign spare parts and maintenance support, Moscow accelerated efforts to build a more self-sufficient civil aviation ecosystem. The SJ-100 and the MC-21 narrow-body aircraft are now central pillars of that strategy. The aircraft itself is classified as a short-haul regional narrow-body jet designed for domestic and regional routes. Earlier Superjet variants are already flying with Russian Airlines, with more than 150 aircraft reportedly operating across the country. Another major area of focus involves existing Superjet aircraft already in service. Russian officials are now evaluating plans to remotorize older aircraft by replacing the Su-146 engines with the new PD-8 power plant. According to Alikhanov, the government and industry are still assessing the financial framework for such upgrades. The final cost will depend on how extensive the modernization process becomes and how many systems require replacement. Russian authorities say discussions with airlines are underway to create what they describe as a balanced and mutually beneficial economic model for both operators and manufacturers. If implemented successfully, those upgrades could significantly improve the long-term sustainability of Russian Superjet operators by reducing dependence on foreign engine support networks and imported spare parts. At Altitude Addicts, this part of the story may actually matter just as much as the production of brand new aircraft, because it affects the existing fleet already flying today. Russia is also moving to extend the operational life of the Superjet family itself. The Ministry of Industry and Trade recently announced a major contract competition worth up to 4.5 billion rubles, aimed at increasing the aircraft's designated service life and operational limits. The modernization effort seeks to raise flight cycle limits from roughly 10,000 to 15,000 cycles up to as high as 15,000 to 20,000 cycles, depending on the aircraft version. Planned flight hour limits could rise from approximately 15,000 to 25,000 hours up to between 25,000 and 40,000 hours. Russian authorities also want to extend the aircraft's operational lifespan from 15 years to 20 years. Officials describe this process as standard practice in aviation because aircraft life limits are gradually expanded as fleets accumulate enough operational experience. The goal is to improve the aircraft's economic appeal for airlines while reducing long-term operating costs. The SJ-100 program is also closely tied to Russia's broader industrial ambitions for domestic aircraft manufacturing. During a recent meeting with President Vladimir Putin, Rostec chief Sergei Chemezov stated that the import-substituted Superjet had already completed around 80% of its certification flights. Chemezov said certification should be completed this year, although he also indicated that larger-scale serial production and broader deliveries would likely ramp up from 2027 onward. Rostec's long-term production goals remain ambitious. By 2030, the corporation expects annual production to reach 36 MC-21 aircraft, 20 SJ-100 aircraft, and 12 IL-114-300 turboprops. Those targets highlight the scale of Russia's attempt to rebuild an independent civil aviation manufacturing base capable of supporting domestic airlines without relying heavily on Western suppliers. Whether those goals are realistic is still debated quite a bit outside Russia. And that brings the conversation back to the most decisive phase of the entire project. Certification still remains the critical hurdle for the SJ-100. Aviation programs frequently encounter unexpected technical issues during final testing, especially when introducing entirely new engines and domestically developed replacement systems. Even small certification complications can trigger delays that stretch for months. Still, the tone coming from Russian officials and industry executives has changed noticeably in recent months. Instead of focusing on developmental uncertainty, they are now emphasizing production readiness, airline preparations, and delivery logistics. At Altitude Addicts, the shift in messaging is impossible to ignore because officials now sound far more confident than they did even a year ago. If certification proceeds according to plan in August 2026, the SJ-100 could become the first major Russian commercial aircraft program since sanctions to successfully transition from development into serial airline deliveries. For Moscow, that would represent not only a major aviation milestone, but also a symbolic demonstration that Russia can continue manufacturing commercial aircraft despite technological isolation from Western aerospace suppliers. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe the channel. Please also take the channel membership to encourage us.